metaverse is going to keep exploding throughout 2022 as the things that we do ourselves and the things we see being done just add fuel to the ideas and concepts that we can bring to this exciting new frontier. The early days of any new medium are the times when the best ideas can make the biggest impact and make the most significant statements.
In 2020 and 2021, we radically transformed the way that we work and the way that we interact in the public space. And in that conversation with businesses and brands, we started talking about things like purpose, sustainability, racial equity and representation. What we need to do now is to move from buzzwords to better brands and, most importantly, building that into business growth.
The Great Resignation is forcing us to think about the experience of work again, especially the experience of work for creative people. How do we attract and retain the world's most valuable talent to work on our brands? How do we use this moment to redesign our environments and ways we work together to support divergent thinkers who can bring the world's most interesting ideas to the table? We need those divergent minds to create work that stands out from the noise. They have a lot of options.
E-commerce, specifically social commerce, feels to be almost the obvious answer, but it's only one piece of a much larger trend, right? There are a number of behaviors that have been accelerated by the triangulation of the impact of COVID, technology innovation, and then some of the socioeconomic shifts that are taking place around the world. Consumers simply want less friction and more access, so its convenience and transparency is at the core of the new brand promise moving forward.
People have changed. Life has been recalibrated. Attitudes, behaviors, priorities, emotions, triggers, everything has changed. I call it Life 2.0 PP, post-pandemic. But as marketers, you and I should be happy because it gives us a great opportunity to find new ways to connect, new areas of growth.
To make this happen, we need to understand what our brands do in the real world and translate that into a metaverse context, which means understanding what our brands stand for and what their purpose is, so they can represent with authenticity in the virtual world. We also need to do that in order to provide value to our metaverse audience, and also understand how to bridge that value back into the real world so that our approach is connected through both the real and the virtual.
The challenge that's going to appear for businesses coming up in 2022 to go from buzzwords to business growth is how to take something that they've been criticised for, lip service, into actually business planning. And the key here is to integrate it up front, to stop thinking about these as after effects, as diversity projects, as good to do communications platforms. This is about integrating it into the planning process right up front and thinking about all of the opportunities that are ahead of us.
Brands can turn this opportunity into a reality by being intentional around supporting that high value talent on their business. Some of the processes that are designed to keep us efficient can actually hinder our ability to grow diverse talent. So investing in the rapid growth of diverse leaders inside your organization so that client and agency teams support a sense of belonging for people who have historically been excluded. Investing in the craft of leadership, not leaving it to chance or instinct, but intentional leadership craft for those who are going to grow the next generation of talent.
Recognizing first and foremost that the consumer is in complete control. If you're an established brand with established distributions and customers, channels that you've been accustomed to, you have to kind of recognize that only those that are paranoid will survive. Only those that are looking to disrupt themselves will actually get ahead of the curve. Challenger brands are looking to disrupt and innovate around you.
Am I excited about Life 2.0? Oh yes, because it helps me reinvent. It helps me find that new area of growth, that new consumer segment whom I could win. If I'm a leader brand, it helps me to sustain and build onto my leadership. Or if I'm a challenger, it helps me new ways to provoke and to put pressure to challenge status quo.
If we do this right, we'll be connecting our brands with huge new audiences in meaningful ways across worlds that until recently we couldn't even dream of. And we'll also be creating amazing new careers for talented, passionate people, equipping them with completely new skill sets for us to collaborate with to make this future happen.
Did it get put into the planning at the beginning of the year? Was it KPI'd at every of the meetings after that? What did consumers say about the trajectory that the business went on, and did it start to contribute to business growth based on the objectives that were set at the beginning of the year?
When the industry of commercial creativity becomes a magnet to the world's most interesting creative thinkers, we are on our way to success.
More customer intimacy without being customer intrusive. It will look like a thoughtful, empathetic understanding of the consumer in the context of a moment in time without feeling like it has breached or violated any of the privacies that consumers are increasingly so protective of.
In 2022, there will be far more disruptors than ever who will understand what changes consumers have gone through post the pandemic. So brands who have cracked Life 2.0, brands who have understood the changes in attitudes, behavior, philosophies, priorities and all of that will win. You will have the leaderboards changing in 2022. You will have far more aggressive challengers taking on the leaders, and it's going to be interesting.